Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into the absolute ultimate architectural blueprint for transforming your everyday makeup look into a totally bulletproof, event-ready full glam. We're taking a deep dive into creator Embla Wigum's special occasion masterclass. And listen, we aren't just talking about slapping on some products here. We're talking about engineering a look that survives flash photography, hours of dancing, and honestly, whatever else the night throws at you. So let's dive right into this.
Think about it. We're looking at a full decade of makeup evolution here. Back in 2015, Embla was just starting to figure out her routine. Fast forward 10 years, and through all the trial, error, and countless events, she has absolutely perfected her techniques. What we're exploring today isn't some fleeting, quick trend. It's a curated, tested, and proven system for a completely flawless special occasion look.
So, here's our roadmap for today. 1. Prep, brows and glowing skin. 2. Base, foundation and concealer. 3. Sculpting with creams and baking. 4. The eyes, smoke and sparkle. And finally, 5. The finale, lips and locking.
All right, let's jump straight into section 1, prep, brows and glowing skin, creating the perfect canvas. Now, this is a crucial point right off the bat. You absolutely have to apply your brow gel first, and I mean directly onto clean skin. Embla uses the Benefit 24-hour brow setter for this. If you start slathering on moisturizer or foundation before doing your brows, that product gets trapped in the brow hairs, and you know what? The gel simply won't have the grip it needs to hold them in place all night. Doing this first on bare skin ensures maximum unyielding hold. Plus, if you happen to make a mistake, you can just wipe it away with the Q-tip without ruining your foundation.
Moving down to the face, deep skin hydration is literally the secret weapon for longevity. The protocol involves very deliberate layering. We start with Rhode Glazing Milk, treating it almost like an essence across the face, neck, and chest, followed by a targeted layer of Rhode Barrier Cream just on the face. But a special occasion often means a special outfit, right? Like a strapless dress. So you definitely can't neglect the body. Finishing off with Sol de Janeiro Rio Sunset Glow Oil on the décolletage and shoulders ensures your skin looks beautifully radiant and cohesive from your forehead all the way down.
Moving on to section 2, base, foundation and concealer, evening the canvas.
When it comes to foundation, the goal here is heavy-duty endurance, but without that heavy, cakey feeling. Embla explicitly selects the NARS light-reflecting foundation for this exact reason. It gives you that vital, medium to full coverage you really need for an event, but because it's light-reflecting, it maintains a remarkably natural finish. And to prevent any harsh streaks, the trick is to blend it out with a dense brush, like the Huda Beauty foundation brush, before just gently tapping over it with a beauty blender.
Next up is honestly one of the most brilliant techniques in this entire routine, marinating your concealer. Yeah, marinating. Whether you're using the NARS Pot Concealer on blemishes or the Huda Beauty Liquid Concealer under your eyes, you don't blend it immediately. You apply the product and you wait. You let it sit and dry out just a tiny bit. This evaporation process dramatically amplifies the coverage power of the pigment, so you don't have to pile on thick layers of product. When you finally tap it out, you keep the coverage exactly where you need it most.
Which brings us to section 3, sculpting, creams and baking, dimension and longevity. So, this cream bronzer workflow is incredibly deliberate. Using the Rare Beauty stick, you first map out the face, cheekbones, forehead, jaw, and nose. But step 2 is the real secret sauce here. You must blend in the exact order of application. You really don't want the first line you drew to dry out and become totally unblendable while you're busy working on the other side of your face. And check out step 3, using a smaller brush to actually drag the nose contour upwards into the eyebrow. That connects the architecture of the face, making the sculpting look entirely natural.
Now we have to talk about powder. Because let's be real, the line between looking glowy and looking sweaty is incredibly thin, especially under flash photography. You want the perimeters of your face, your cheekbones, your temples to look beautifully radiant. But if the center of your face, the under eyes, the sides of the nose, the middle of the forehead is shiny, a camera flash just makes you look like you've been sweating on the dance floor. That is exactly why you take a powder puff with Huda Beauty loose powder and firmly press it only into the center of the face, leaving the edges completely untouched. The whole core philosophy of a full event glam really just comes down to layering. You literally can't just stop at creams. Your cream base gives you that initial sculpting, but for a special occasion, you absolutely have to follow it up with a powder top coat over the exact same areas. Using products like the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette for bronzer and the pressed Huda Snatch powder under the eyes creates much deeper dimension. It physically sets the cream underneath, meaning your face won't magically melt off 3 hours into the night. It elevates the entire look from everyday to true glam.
All right, Section 4, the eyes, smoke and sparkle, creating the focal point.
This eye look is remarkably structured into 3 very distinct steps using a Morphe palette. First, you build the shape by diffusing a warm light brown high into the crease with a nice fluffy brush. Next, you build depth by packing a deeper shade strictly onto the outer corner and along the lash line, just slightly smoking it out into a soft wing. Finally, the true focal point, packing an icy shimmer, specifically the Mario Master Crystal Reflector, right into the inner crease. It catches the light perfectly for a stunning effect.
Of course, no eye look is really complete without lashes, right? Embla emphasizes a highly strategic choice here, waterproof mascara, specifically the Maybelline Sky High. The waterproof formula is crucial because it acts as a rigid barrier that literally locks the curl of your natural lashes in place so they don't droop. Paired with just a couple of individual eye-dew or cluster lashes applied right to the outer corners, you get a beautiful, customized fullness that is way more comfortable than a heavy strip lash.
And finally, Section 5, the finale, lips and locking, sealing the deal.
Let's rapid fire through these finishing touches. First, to bring some color back to the cheeks, take the Charlotte Tilbury Pinkgasm Liquid Blush and twist it onto the high points with a sponge for a stunning highlighter-like glow. Next, a quick mist of an extra glow setting spray for a final touch of radiance. And for the lips, a highly strategic combo of Anastasia Mocha Lip Liner for long-lasting definition, topped with Rimmel Cocoa Sugar Gloss. Now, why a gloss for an event? Because you can just keep it in your purse and reapply it all night long without even needing to look in a mirror. Genius. And for the final, ultimate lockdown mechanism, the L'Oreal Infallible Setting Spray. It's described literally as hairspray for your face. It's that heavy-duty, industrial-strength final layer that ensures the incredible architectural masterpiece we just spent the last several minutes building simply will not budge, no matter how much you dance or sweat.
So, bringing this all together, I want to leave you with a quick question. Is your current makeup routine truly ready for the flashbulbs? Or is it time to start layering your creams and powders and marinating your concealer for the ultimate event glam? Applying these professional-level, event-tested structural techniques takes an everyday look and turns it into something totally bulletproof. Next time you have a major occasion, try treating your routine like a blueprint. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy glamming!